What's up, world? It's your boy, the Beerded Brother, and welcome to another episode of the Beerded Tastings, where I speak with Black Nashvillians and see what they're brewing in the city, from advocacy to products. So make sure you grab your favorite beer, crack it open, tune in. Here with my good friend Antwon AKA Chef Twon, aka former co-worker, former teammate, even fight spectator. So I had to bring that up. I had to bring that back up. I was thinking about that the other day. But how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Just whipped up something really quick for us. So we also talk about beers, talk about food. We have some salmon bites, also fried up some shrimp as well. Some really quick, kind of pair it off with the beers that Kramer bought.
Yeah, man. So, being a chef, how's that like been, trying to balance full time and cooking on the side? Because I know cooking for me feels like a full time job.
Yeah. Great question. It get tough some days, right? Anything you do is get tough. So just balancing a full-time job and trying to work around like my business. Say for instance, you may have a catering that you want on like maybe Friday at 6, and I get off at 7, right? So it's just like those kind of conflicts. I think is like basically like the only like bump in the road for me is just like scheduling conflicts. Is like freeing up time to be able to do these caterings, do these date nights. Okay. Right now I'm balancing it out because I primarily run my business on the weekends, which is Saturday and Sundays. Okay. And I feel like that right there is kind of beneficial for me just because most people will have, those type of events on the weekend. Right. Graduation parties, baby showers, bridal showers, your little cousin Jimmy's birthday, so it's just like all of those things. People usually want to have those on like either a Saturday or a Sunday. So right now it's kind of working out for me.
Oh, that's perfect. So I want to dig into this fried food because that's like one of my favorite styles. Mm-hmm. And I kind of want to start with our pairing with this Untitled Art and Modist Brewing Sauvignon Blanc IPA. So it's made with like the grapes they use in Sauvignon Blanc. So you're going to get a lot of grape on the front end, which goes really well with the seafood we're having. So it looks like we're having shrimp and salmon fried up. So let's drink up. So you can really taste that like grape in there.
Yeah, I like that though.
Yeah, it's really good, and it kind of fools you a little bit because it's IPA. Yeah. IPAs are really bitter, a lot of hops. So this is kind of like a refreshing take, and it's still for the wine drink, especially on the white wine drink, because this is like a perfect alternative if you don't want any like wine or anything like that.
Definitely agree with you on that. I was just about to say that it reminds me like of a wine after the aftertaste. I cook with a lot of wine, white wine as well, so it kind of reminds me of that.
Do you do a lot of beer inspired food, or you just kind of like stay away?
I haven't gotten to the beer inspired food just yet though. I know growing up I saw it. We cook with the beer can, stuff it in the chicken.
Yeah, beer batter.
Yeah. Or beer batter fish. It's like
that's true. Yeah, good fish fry.
But I haven't did that yet. Maybe this would be a perfect time to do like some beer battered salmon.
So there you go. So what kind of sauce is this? This is
so
delicious.
The sauce is a ranch base. It's a thin ranch base though.
Okay.
So I'm used to that kind of like thick ranch. But I think if you thin it up, I think it pairs well with the salmon.
Okay.
Haven't tried it with the shrimp yet. I'm pretty sure it's pretty good. Can't go wrong with ranch on anything, honestly.
I'm a blue cheese guy, but I'll let it slide for this episode. I'll let it slide. So I know this being a chef, you can't just pick this up one weekend and start selling plates the next weekend. So like, where did your love for cooking kind of come from?
Mm-hmm. Great question. So growing up, I actually used to sit in the kitchen and watch my mom cook. Mm-hmm. Kind of like that spectator there is just like, wow, okay, that's boiling. Wow, that's frying. It's kind of like being in awe of everything. Mm-hmm. So, I picked that up. And then it's just watching a lot of my auntie and my uncles. We come from a cooking family. Okay. So just like kind of like spectating with them as well. Like watching them cook on a daily basis. And then just try to learn as I go. He did this that way. So like I said, it started out really just spectating, not really getting my hands on or anything. Didn't really fall in love with it until I went to Brainerd High School. Okay. It's a Madden high school, so we had a culinary program there. Oh, nice. So I initially went there to eat, just like any normal person would, right? You say, hey, we got a culinary program. It's like, I'm just about to go eat, right? It's like, friends, exactly. It's like, dude, I'm in school. I don't want lunch food. Like, you saying culinary? Yeah. So I joined that, like, I want to say my sophomore year. Okay. It was overseen by Leon Rice, who was a chef, who's also my mentor. Okay. So when I went there, again, it was all about, like, me eating. Like, I just want to try this, try that. And then, I started getting into, like, the fundamentals of cooking, right? Like, reading recipes, like, just, like, seeing how it can be turned into, like, an art. I think kind of, like, pulled me in a little bit more, right? And then, when I started cooking and people started eating it, and it was like, oh, this is good. Like, this is, yeah, I was like, oh wow. Like, this is like when you were a kid, you draw a picture and you get it to your mom and you be like, your mom's just like, oh wow, that's amazing. Right. Like, it's that same inner feeling I had as far as like cooking my first dish, right? And then it got to the point where, the restaurant, it was a student-run restaurant. Okay. So, of course, we cooked for faculty and staff. And then we opened the restaurant, like, after hours, after school hours. So, the school closed at 2:15. We opened it up, I believe it was like... To the public or just... Yeah, it was to the public. Oh, we opened it up to the public from, like, 2:15 to that, like, 4 o'clock mark. And, that was great. And then I started having requests, right? Teachers would come in. It's like, is Antwon working today? Is Antwon in? Yeah, can I have him, like, cook my food? So, it got to that point, and, for me, it started out with Phillies. Phillies was, like, my go-to thing. I love making Phillies. I was the Philly man for a while. Get on with Philly cheese. Oh, dude, it's my favorite food, too, so it's crazy. It's like, I guess I cooked it so much, it kind of, like, drilled inside of me, just like, this is all you can eat. So, yeah, I started making Phillies, man, and then, like, so some of my schoolmates, one person in particular named J-Rod, we call him J-Rod, is a basketball player. Super cool, laid back guy. He used to always call me his Philly man. There you go. every time he wanted a Philly, he's Antwon in, Antwon make my Philly. Exactly.
Yeah. If anybody else give it to somebody else, I don't need this.
Exactly. So that that love kind of like came out from that, right? Just like people like appreciating what I do. So I was just like, man, I really can do this, right? So that's how the cooking journey pretty much started for me.
Okay, there you go. So I know you started like with Philly. So what do you specialize in? What's your favorite style or style that gets the most love, I guess, when you make it?
That's a tough question, right? I guess it's really hard because every person will want something different, right? So you book. I also do date nights as well. I think I forgot to really go over that. So I have a catering business called Twon's Bistro, but it's like a date night on the side of it as well, like date night edition. I go to couples' homes, friends' homes, whatever you want to do. You can book me. I set up, cook for you, the whole shebang, the white cloth table, the candles lit, the wine. I eventually want to expand on that. Eventually, like add on some packages, maybe like have a live band playing or something like that. Okay. Something like I see like chefs is not really doing, right? But to just piggyback to your question, I would say I cook a lot of seafood for myself. I post a lot of seafood. I don't know. It's just I have a love for seafood now. It's like as I got older, like that love for seafood kind of like expanded. So I would say kind of my go-to dish maybe like a tuna steak with like some mashed potatoes with like some roasted asparagus or something like that. Yeah, dude, tuna is to me tuna is like the underrated seafood.
Yes,
right.
That's why I try to tell my fiance that she does not like tuna. I'm telling you, that's like one of the best pieces of seafood.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That doesn't get the respect it deserves.
Super underrated. Tuna, you can make it all types of ways. Like I said, you can tuna steak, you can do tuna fish, you can do tuna casserole. It's like all types of things you can do with tuna, which I think is very unappreciated in the cooking world, right?
Right.
But I would say seafood is my go-to. I'm more of like a Southern cuisine type of chef. Just because, of course, I was born and raised in Chattanooga. So it's just like, staying there, living there, watching my family cook. It was all like mac and cheese, sweet potato casserole. I was growing up with barbecue pig feet, like on the grill.
Yeah,
it was like, chicken livers for dinner. It was kind of all Southern. Yeah. Walk to the corner store, get gizzards.
Yep. Shoot around the corner.
Yeah.
Jimmy around the corner from the crib.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm telling you now, gas station gizzards is the best thing you ever taste. Right. I'm telling you, it's just like mind-boggling. Like, this came out of this place. I was like, what?
Houseway.
I would say more of a Southern cuisine. I'm really stepping out of my comfort zone a lot with cooking as well this year.
Okay.
So I want to just really like touch base with I want to tap into other cuisines, right? I want to tap into like the Asian cuisine, Caribbean, all types of stuff. I want to like infuse it with the Southern style though.
Ooh,
because as a chef, you look at other chefs as well, and you see them cooking. They using different things. I look at chefs as like an inspiration. Like in this business, a lot of people will say like, oh, like is it difficult to really compete? It's not really a competition to me, but it's like
one of my questions for you. Yeah, like, how do you deal with competition in that? More specifically in Nashville, because that's where we are. And how do you make yourself stand out? Do you even try to like collab with other chefs, or you try to stay in your own lane? So,
I do try to stay in my own lane. For me, it's not a competition, right? It's money to be made for everyone. So I had a person ask me one day, it's like, you advertise. This is one chef in Nashville. It's like, you advertise him a lot. Like, you shout him out a lot. And I'm just like, I can shout him out the same day and have a booking that same day as well.
Right.
So it's just like, it's enough for me. It's enough money to be made for me.
It's enough mouths to be fed.
Yeah. Because one thing people gonna do in this world is they're gonna eat. You gotta eat to survive, right?
True.
So you can never have too many jobs in like the food industry, because people gonna always come out and eat. People gonna always want to indulge in like the new things, the new menu items, the different things that you may even like create yourself. So for me, I like promoting other businesses. Like it's something that I enjoy doing. Like I can promote a chef and just like, dude, that looks great. I can come on this video, that looks great. Or if I can't take a booking, I send them over to another chef as well. Like I'll say, hey, I apologize, I can't take it. I'm pretty booked that day. But here's another chef that's doing the same thing. Like in Nashville, they have the catering options. They have the maybe the date night option as well. And I throw them that referral. So for me, it's just like, I'm not losing money off of it, right? Because I have those clients who kind of like, you call them retainers, right? They keep retainers. Yeah. They're gonna book you for certain things because you already proven yourself to them. So I think I can still make my money while also helping others make money as well.
Gotcha. But I'm just like looking at how even your frying is, and I was like, do you have any tricks to offer me? Because every time I try to fry chicken or any kind of seafood, I'm like, one side's like perfectly breaded, and it's like the other side, like there's nothing there. Whether I grab it with the tongs or like how can a regular dude like me have all these? Look at that, like it's beautiful, y'all.
Yeah, dude. So the rule of thumb that I learned with frying food, right? Frying chicken, frying pretty much anything you throw in that fryer, right? If it floats, it's ready. Like that's exactly that's a rule of thumb. Like back in culinary school, they tell you like, if it started floating, that pretty much means it's ready. It's ready to go, right? You can always temp it. You can do certain temperatures. Every food has a different temp that it needs to be met. Okay. Needs to meet. But I would say you can temp it. But my thing is, I eye it all the time. Like, okay. I think your eyes is going to be like your second best hands in the kitchen. Gotcha. Because a lot of people eat with their eyes first, right? So that's kind of like it's same with cooking, right? You cook with your eyes. It's like, oh, okay, that looks like that's going to be ready. A lot of tasting as well. Okay. You don't want to serve anyone anything that you haven't tasted. As a chef, you have to taste your food. Gotcha. I don't care if you think it looks perfect. I don't care if you made it 1,000 times. Maybe that 1,000th time you put too much salt in it, or you can't unsalt a dish, right? So if you put too much salt in it, that dish is pretty much ruined. You got to remake that. So that's why I always lightly salt everything, because you can always add salt to the dish, right?
Gotcha.
So I would say just eyeing the food when you're frying it. Get that little golden brown texture. Always change your grease. Cook in your grease 3 times, maybe 2 or 3 times. Change your grease out. That'll also keep that golden brown color, as you can see like on the salmon here. Let it crunchy. And then when they start swimming and floating up,
that's when it's good to go.
Hey, that's good to go, man.
Ooh, cool. Thank you for watching part 1 of the Beerded Tastings. Don't worry, part 2 is out, but just want to make sure you got you another beer, poured up another one, or taking a few extra puffs on your smoke break or anything like that. Come on back, sit back, relax. Of course, drink up.